Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Patek Philippe 5050G Perpetual Calendar Retrograde. You can see this retrograde automatic winding perpetual calendar on our website and subscribe to our channel if you enjoy these videos. You can also click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full listing for this watch with additional high resolution images, accessories included, and naturally, full pricing details. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that this is a very traditional size. Built from approximately 1995 to 2000, the 5050 is what you would call a classically sized and proportioned men's dress watch, 35 millimeters across the round of the case. It's a compact 45.5 millimeters from lug to lug and reasonably slim at 11 millimeters, though you can see with the concave bezel sloping inwards, it really does clear a dress cuff far more easily than even the modest dimensions of 11 millimeters thick would suggest an easy watch to wear with any kind of tight sleeve or formal cuff. Now the watch does have good weight to it thanks to the white gold construction and also thanks to a very substantial Patek Philippe single fold deployant filigree style Calatrava cross inset. It has a lot of mass, and being a large metallic clasp to counterbalance a watch head, it's nicely paired. Again, when you don't have a bracelet, oftentimes you need a substantial clasp to counterbalance a heavy precious metal watch so it doesn't want to hula hoop on the wrist. This watch certainly has that, in addition to a high quality gloss monotone stitch dark brown alligator leather strap. Very traditional. You can see straight spring bars, so if you want to pull the watch straight down around the tight curve of a smaller wrist, this watch is a perfect match in every sense. What really sets this one apart is the spectacular vertically satin grained salmon dial. Now the watch has handsome case lines, very Calatrava-esque in the integrated lugs, but it's really the dial that's the star here. Let's start with the obvious. It has a pinkish salmon tone, and I don't know if you can see in the soft light of my light box, but it has a beautiful vertical grain to it like brushed metal, and then there's also the nuance of the late sigma dial. At 6 o'clock you can see Swiss is signed with Greek letter sigma on both sides. This was something that started in the early 1970s at the behest of a Swiss precious metals trade group, and it was phased out in the late 1990s. Patek Philippe was one of the last adherents to this signage, and it simply means that the dial itself features white gold elements, in this case all of the polished stick style indices, although the leaf style white gold hands at center are also polished precious metal. Now the watch features a retrograding date, it features the day, it features the month, and the phase of the 4-year leap year cycle, as well as a 122-year moon phase. That is to say, it needs to be adjusted for correction once every 122 years. You'll also note the moon style counterweight to the lancet style seconds hand. Now turning the watch over, we see the caliber 315 based perpetual movement. Now in this case we're looking at a caliber 315, follow me here, QP for Quantième Perpetuel, R for retrograde, LU for lune, so it's got a moon phase, and S for seconds. You'll also note that it's the older style Geneva seal finish. Now, the finishing standards haven't changed at Patek Philippe, but the signage has. Today you'll see the interlocking Patek Philippe seal. On older watches, you'll see the Geneva hallmark, as you can see on the bridge just beneath my thumb. Both beautifully finished. They're essentially equivalents from a workmanship standpoint, but some romanticists and traditionalists like myself prefer the older signage for sentimental reasons. You'll also note beautiful Côte de Genève across the bridges. You can see linear on the bridges to good effect and circular on the winding mass. All of the bridges have beautiful anglage so that the edges of the bridges are rounded and mirror polished. And of course, all the screw heads are polished with chamfered slots. Now, it has a power reserve of approximately 40 hours, and it has Patek Philippe's signature Gyromax free-sprung balance for precision. The 315, the predecessor to the caliber 324 used today, has a slightly slower beat rate, a little bit more of a traditional chug at 21,600 vibrations per hour. This is a handsome, traditional, and quite frankly rare example of the Patek Philippe Perpetual Calendar Retrograde. The vast majority of the 5050s themselves estimated to number just over 1,000 total production, but the vast body of that is believed to be yellow gold and rose gold, with very few being rendered in white gold. This example, white gold with the salmon dial, is part of a bare handful assembled, classically sized and beautifully detailed. You can see this Patek Philippe 5050 Perpetual Calendar Retrograde and purchase it on our website.